What I'm about to tell you hits every man the same way, first in the gut, then in the spine. Because if you misread this truth, life doesn't just humble you, it rearranges you. The air around this realization always feels heavier, like it's pressing a hand against your chest. Every man thinks he understands attraction, until he notices the look in her eyes when she watches a documentary about a man who could kill, but chose not to, and that's when the air shifted. If you ignore this, you walk blind into a life where your niceness becomes your own executioner. Listen closely. This is the moment most men never notice. You spent years being told to soften yourself. You cut the edges off your voice. You lowered your intensity. You pulled back your instincts. You made yourself harmless because everyone told you that's what good men do. And at first, it worked. She said she felt safe with you. She said you were easy to be around. But then her eyes started drifting. Not away from you, but away from who she thought you were supposed to be. Inside, you felt something tighten under your ribcage. Why does it feel like she's slipping even though I'm doing everything right? Why do I feel invisible in the relationship I'm carrying? I felt colder, but sharper. Jaw pressure, fingers stillness, air tension that didn't move. The room felt different all of a sudden. If you react wrong here, you fracture something inside yourself that takes years to rebuild. Here's the truth every man avoids because it's terrifying in its simplicity. Women crave safety, yes, but not safety born from weakness. They crave the safety of a man who could destroy but doesn't. A man who has edges, shadows, instincts he controls. But you were trained to remove the very traits evolution wired into you for strength. You declawed yourself. Declawed men don't inspire desire, they inspire comfort. But here's what no one tells you. Comfort without polarity dries attraction like sunlight hitting wet concrete. If you ignore this, you stay trapped in a cycle where you give more and feel less like yourself. The silence changed before the truth did. You started noticing her new habits. The ones you pretended were harmless. The true crime documentaries where she leaned forward when the man's voice dropped. The dark romance novels where the male lead was always ruthless with everyone except her. The way she'd say she hates toxic men while her pupils dilate describing them. This is the moment most men never notice, because it hurts too much to admit. And just when you think it's over, it isn't. There's a delayed tension reveal every man experiences. She wanted the danger you killed to make her safe. Ignore this and time will choose for you. You won't like how it chooses. Every woman wants a man who is safe for her but dangerous to the world. But somewhere along the way, you mistook good for harmless. Harmless men don't inspire feminine surrender. Harmless men don't activate desire. Harmless men don't generate that intuitive trust that says, he can hold me because he can hold himself. Your softness wasn't the issue. Your softness without strength was. You know this is you. Women unconsciously test for the presence of strength, not the display of it. Strength is quiet, directional, contained. It's the ability to say no without raising your voice. It's the tension in your stance when something feels off. It's the inner stillness that says, I'm in control of myself. But you diluted yourself to avoid discomfort. You traded instinct for approval. Approval breeds boredom faster than danger ever will. If you ignore this, you'll keep mistaking her restlessness for your failure. The room held its breath. You civilized yourself so much you forgot the one thing all human nature bows to. Polarity. Masculine polarity isn't aggression. It's presence. It's self-governed intensity. It's the willingness to be a storm but choosing to be a coast. Here's the metaphor. You became a calm sea, thinking she'd love the peace, but she missed the man who could command the tides. The tension you feel right now isn't fear, it's memory waking up. Because deep down you know you amputated parts of yourself to be chosen. Now those missing parts are the very things she's searching for elsewhere, and that realization always cuts. If you ignore this, you'll keep bleeding into relationships that never return the pulse. And that's when the air shifted again. Your softness was never supposed to replace your danger. It was supposed to balance it. A man who is only soft is prey. A man who is only dangerous is chaos. A man who is both is irresistible. You'll replay this part without meaning to, and you'll feel your chest tighten because you know the version of you she fell for was never harmless. He was just sleeping. If you avoid this insight, nothing inside you recalibrates. She didn't lose interest because you were good. She lost interest because you stopped being whole. Desire dies when a man amputates his instincts. Respect dies when he apologizes for his nature. Interest dies when he becomes predictable. You've been punished for being a soft guy because that's not what she truly wanted. She wanted a man who could be soft by choice. And right when you think it's over, it isn't. Listen closely. Because this is where most men either wake up or stay asleep for the rest of their lives. The silence changed before the truth did. You didn't just soften yourself. You disconnected yourself from the primal current every man needs to stay alive inside. There's something evolutionary inside women that reacts not to who you've become, but to who you've muted. Every man carries a core frequency, the intersection of danger, restraint, purpose, and instinct. You lowered the volume. You turned yourself gentle, predictable, steady. And while the world applauded your compliance, her body quietly stopped responding. If you ignore this, the cycle keeps restarting. Women don't just want safety. They want a man who can protect the safety he builds. A man who has a shadow, not one who lives inside hers. You made yourself soft to prove you weren't a threat. But strength without threat isn't strength. It's decoration. And women do not desire decoration, they desire dimension. Danger controlled, not danger denied. The lion who lies calmly beside her is desired because he could destroy the world around her. But harmlessness is the absence of power, not the mastery of it. If you avoid this insight, nothing recalibrates, and then the air in the room thickened again. Desire is born from polarity, not certificates of goodness. You built a life that made her secure. You removed the danger. You removed the uncertainty. You removed the edge. You removed the unpredictability. But desire doesn't live in certainty. It lives in tension. She reached for stories filled with men who carried the danger you killed in yourself. If you misinterpret this, you'll think she wants toxicity, but she wants polarity. Toxicity is uncontrolled danger. Attraction is controlled danger. Learn or stay lost. The room held its breath. She doesn't want you to become dangerous. She wants to feel the presence of your inner danger, the one you've buried. A man who lashes out is weak. A man who contains his fire is irresistible. But you dimmed your fire so thoroughly that she forgot it existed. She reached for intensity elsewhere because she needed contrast. She needed to feel something. She needed the reminder that male strength exists, even if not in her home. If you ignore this, the fracture becomes permanent, and just when you think the moment is done, it isn't. You didn't kill your danger for her. You killed it for approval. Approval from society. Approval from friends. Approval from the idea of modern manhood. Approval from the voice inside afraid of being misunderstood. Men who chase approval lose the respect of the ones they love. Harmlessness isn't virtue, it's self-erasure. Notice how your chest tightened when you heard that. That's the part of you that remembers who you used to be. Now listen carefully. This is where you stop bleeding. Masculine clarity isn't loud. It isn't aggressive. It isn't performed. Masculine clarity is reclaiming the parts of yourself you traded away. The decision to stop apologizing for your instincts. The decision to stop being predictable. The decision to stop being the man who killed his edge to earn a love that depends on the edge being alive. You'll feel colder, but sharper. Your spine will straighten. Your fingers will still. Because once a man remembers his own danger, he stops negotiating his identity. If even one part of this felt like your life, you and I are built from the same scars. You'll replay this part without meaning to. Your mind will circle back to the moment you realize she isn't addicted to danger. She's addicted to the man who knows he carries it. Exhale. Say what hit you first. The moment her eyes drifted. The moment you dimmed your instincts. Or the moment you realize softness without strength is self-betrayal. She wants the danger you killed to make her safe. Not the chaos. Not the violence. Not the madness. The capacity. The controlled edge. The inner darkness you govern. Not the one that governs you. She wants the man whose presence is a warning to the world but a calm to her. She wants the version of you that you abandoned to become the good guy. Good didn't kill you. Harmless did. Picture yourself standing in that quiet room, finally choosing strength. Not performance, not bravado, not theatrics. Strength that doesn't need to be shown because it's felt. Strength that returns desire because it returns polarity. Strength that makes you a storm with a center, not a puddle evaporating in the sun. Take this in silence. Let it settle under your sternum. Carry it without speaking. A man who understands this doesn't announce the transformation. He becomes it.